Caleb Smith was just an ordinary programmer at Blue Book, the world's biggest search engine, a tech giant that dominated the internet like Google. But one ordinary day, everything changed. While busy with his work, Caleb received an unexpected email. He had won an exclusive company contest. The prize? A once-in-a-lifetime chance to spend an entire week at the private estate of Nathan Bateman, the mysterious, reclusive founder and CEO of Blue Book. Excited and a little nervous, Caleb packed his bags. Days later, a helicopter arrived to pick him up. The flight took him far from civilization, soaring over snow-capped mountains and endless green valleys. When they finally landed, Caleb realized how isolated this place really was. No houses, no roads, no cell signal for miles. Confused, Caleb asked the pilot where the house was. The pilot simply pointed to a river ahead and said, "Follow it. You'll see the building. I'll be back here exactly 1 week later. Have fun." With that, the helicopter flew away, leaving Caleb completely alone. Following the river through the dense forest, Caleb finally came across what looked like an old, abandoned shed. But as he approached, a robotic voice called out his name. "Caleb Smith, please come to the door and place your face in front of the screen." Startled, Caleb obeyed. The machine scanned his face, and seconds later a key card printed out, his picture on it. The shed's door clicked open, and to Caleb's astonishment, it revealed a passage leading to a massive, futuristic home hidden deep in the wilderness. Inside, the place was stunning: glass walls, minimalist design, and an incredible view of untouched nature. But something felt off. There were no servants, no staff, no one except Nathan himself. Caleb soon found Nathan working out, his presence intense but strangely friendly. Nathan greeted him like an old friend and told him that for the next 7 days, they wouldn't be CEO and employee. They'd be equals, just two friends hanging out. Nathan then handed Caleb his key card and explained how it worked. Could open some doors, but others would remain locked. Those were restricted areas. Caleb tried not to think too much of it, but the house already felt unnervingly controlled and closed off. Nathan smiled knowingly, sensing Caleb's unease. "This isn't just a house," he said. "It's a top-secret research facility. And very soon I'm going to tell you exactly why you're here." Nathan smiled cryptically and said, "Before I show you the research I'm doing here, there's something I need you to do first." He handed Caleb a thick agreement to sign. The contract was strict. It stated that Caleb could not share anything he saw, heard, or learned during his stay with anyone, ever. No phones, no outside communication, no exceptions. Caleb hesitated. The language in the document was full of legal jargon, and some of it felt a little too extreme. Seeing his hesitation, Nathan reassured him. "Listen, Caleb, even if you don't sign it, you can still stay here for a week, enjoy the place, and leave without a problem. But if you don't sign, I can't show you anything about my research. A year from now, when you realize what you missed, you'll regret it for the rest of your life." That final line hit Caleb's curiosity hard. His hesitation melted away, and with a mix of excitement and unease, he signed the agreement. Nathan's eyes lit up. "Good. Now let's begin." He asked Caleb, "Do you know about the Turing test?" Caleb nodded. "Yes. It's when a person talks to a computer without knowing it's a computer. If the person believes they're talking to a human, the test is considered successful." Nathan grinned. "Exactly. And if the test succeeds, what does that mean?" Caleb thought for a moment before replying. "It means the computer has achieved true artificial intelligence." And that's when it hit him. Caleb's expression changed as he asked, "Wait, you want to create an AI?" Nathan leaned back and casually said, "I already have." Caleb's heart raced. Nathan continued, "And you, Caleb, are going to help me test it. Imagine it, a machine that can think, feel, and understand just like a human. If we succeed, this won't just be a breakthrough, this will be history. The day humanity became creators of a new kind of life." Caleb's eyes widened with awe. "If what you're saying is true, then this might be the moment humans start to think of themselves as gods." Nathan smirked, clearly impressed with Caleb's enthusiasm. Later, while wandering through the facility, Caleb reached a room that caught his attention. Nathan, as always, was silently watching from his control room. Inside was a large glass chamber. Caleb froze. There were long scratch marks along the walls, as if someone had desperately clawed at the glass. He stepped closer, staring in confusion, when suddenly, a figure moved inside. Caleb's breath caught as he saw her. A robot, but not just any robot. She had a face, a human face. The rest of her body was unmistakably mechanical, but her presence was almost alive. Caleb couldn't take his eyes off her. Then, she slowly walked closer to the glass. "Hello," she said softly. Caleb blinked, startled, then managed to reply, "Hi, my name's Caleb." She tilted her head slightly, almost curious. "My name is Ava," she said. "This is the first time I've ever met someone other than Nathan." And in that moment, Caleb realized this was no ordinary experiment. This was a meeting that could change the course of history. During this conversation, Ava's gestures were just like a human's. There was an innocence and simplicity in her voice that touched Caleb's heart. For him, Ava was nothing short of a wonder. After talking with Ava, Caleb went to Nathan. He couldn't stop praising Ava in front of him. He said that speaking with Ava felt like being in a dream. However, Nathan got to the point and asked Caleb if he had noticed any flaws in Ava. Caleb replied that Ava was wonderful, but in the context of the Turing test, Nathan should have hidden Ava's identity from him so he wouldn't know if she was a robot or a human. But since he already knew Ava was an AI, how could he properly compare her to a human? To this, Nathan said that passing such a Turing test was no big deal for Ava. She had already passed similar tests before. The real challenge now was whether Caleb, knowing she was a robot, would still feel like she was human. That would be Ava's true test. Caleb agreed. That night, Caleb was lying in bed, tossing and turning, unable to sleep. So he turned on the TV and saw live CCTV footage of Ava's chamber being displayed on the screen. He could watch Ava from every angle. He saw her sitting at a desk, making a drawing. Then she got up, walked to a switch, and placed her hand on it. She then removed her hand and looked directly at the camera, as if she knew Caleb was watching her. At that exact moment, the power in the entire facility went out, and an announcement was made that the generator was being restarted and that all security lockdowns were activated. In the meantime, Caleb panicked when he heard this. He tried to use his keycard to open the room door, but it didn't work. The facility had been programmed so that whenever there was a power outage, all rooms would lock automatically, preventing anyone from leaving. Caleb began to feel anxious. Soon, the generator restarted and the power returned. Caleb breathed a sigh of relief and went back to bed. The next morning, the door to Caleb's room opened. Caleb woke up suddenly and saw a girl entering the room with a cup of coffee. Without saying a word or even looking at him, she placed the coffee on the table and quietly left the room. Caleb immediately went to Nathan. Before he could say anything, Nathan said, "Sorry friend, I had to send Kyoko to your room to wake you up. I didn't want you to waste your precious time sleeping." Hearing this, Caleb assumed that Kyoko was one of Nathan's servants. After that, Caleb's second conversation session with Ava began. This time, Ava showed him a drawing she had made. However, the drawing didn't seem to make any sense, so Caleb advised her to make a drawing with meaning. By now, Ava had grown quite close to Caleb. She expressed her desire to know more about him. Caleb told her about where he lived, his age, and his job. Then, Ava asked if he was married or had a girlfriend. Caleb replied that he was still single. He also shared that when he was 15 years old, his parents died in a car accident. He had been in the car too, but he survived because he was sitting in the back seat. However, he was badly injured and had to spend 1 year in the hospital. Since then, he had been alone in the world. Ava expressed sadness upon hearing this. During their conversation, Ava asked Caleb if he considered Nathan his friend. Caleb replied that their friendship wasn't that deep, but Nathan was a capable person. He had written the base code of the Blue Book search engine when he was just 13 years old. That's why everyone at the company respected him. Caleb said he's a good person. While they were talking, the power went out in the facility once again. As soon as the lights went off, all the doors locked and the cameras turned off. This time, a worried expression appeared on Ava's face. She said to Caleb, "You're wrong. Nathan is not a good person. Never trust him. He's not your friend. Don't believe anything he says." Caleb was shocked to hear this. Just then, the power came back. And at that exact moment, Ava quickly changed the topic. Knowing that Nathan was watching them, her words had shaken Caleb. He felt deeply nervous and disturbed. That night, while Caleb was having dinner with Nathan, Kyoko accidentally spilled a glass of wine. Nathan suddenly burst out in anger at Kyoko, scolded her harshly and drove her away. Seeing Nathan like this, Caleb started feeling nervous inside. In the next moment, Nathan's anger shifted to the issue of the power cuts. He began telling Caleb that he had spent a lot of money on the generator system, yet the power still kept going out for short periods. Hearing this, Caleb asked, "Don't you know what's causing it?" Nathan replied, "I don't know. Maybe the people who installed the generator made a mistake." Then Caleb asked, "So why don't you call them back again?" Nathan answered, "I can't call them because this place is a top secret. I can't let anyone know about it. So after the work was done, I had them killed to make sure they wouldn't tell anyone." Caleb was shocked to hear this, but then he thought maybe Nathan was joking. Nathan continued, "Caleb, I was monitoring your conversation with Ava, but as you know, the cameras were switched off during the power cut. So what did you two talk about during that time?" But Caleb didn't want to get into trouble by telling Nathan the truth, so he lied and said, "We didn't talk about anything during that time." Nathan didn't ask him anything further about it. Now Caleb started to feel sympathy for Ava. He kept watching her from his room all the time. Ava too would often look toward the camera, as if she knew Caleb was watching her. During this time, Nathan took Caleb to his lab where he had created Ava. Nathan showed Caleb Ava's brain, which was made of a gel-like substance. Nathan explained that this was a wetware technology that works just like the human brain. Allows Ava to think, understand, and make decisions like a real human. Nathan went on to say that the biggest challenge while creating Ava was teaching her human expressions and the way people speak. To solve this, he said he hacked the cameras and microphones of mobile phones across the world through his search engine, Blue Book, and fed people's voice and video data into Ava's memory. That's how Ava learned about human expressions and behavior. Even though hacking people's mobile phones is illegal, Nathan explained that not only he but many big companies do the same. They collect user data so no one can blame him alone. Nathan also told Caleb that his search engine, Blue Book, played a major role in training Ava. He said, "Do you know what people search on the internet reveals not only their needs and preferences, but also how they think. And through that, Ava has come to understand human beings." After this, Caleb's third session with Ava began. This time, Ava showed Caleb another drawing. Now Ava had started making pictures based on the things around her, observing and understanding them. Caleb was quite impressed by her work. Meanwhile, Ava told Caleb that she would never be able to leave this chamber. She said that she wanted to see the outside world and do everything she was interested in. She asked Caleb, "If I ever get the chance to go out, would you go on a date with me?" Caleb happily said yes. Then Ava asked Caleb to close his eyes. And after a while, she appeared in front of him dressed and decorated like a human. In those clothes, no one could have guessed that she was a robot. Caleb kept staring at her. Ava came closer and asked, "Are you starting to like me?" Caleb hesitated a little and replied, "No." But Ava said, "You're lying. I can see the micro-expressions on your face. I know you've started liking me." Then Caleb admitted that he was indeed getting attracted to Ava. Later, Caleb went to Nathan again and asked, "I don't understand why you gave Ava a gender. Why you added all these girlish traits to her. Why does a robot need a gender?" Could it be that you programmed her to flirt with me so I'd get impressed and she'd pass the test? To this, Nathan replied, "You're right. I gave her all the girlish traits. She can feel everything. She can even form relationships with men. I've made Ava in a way that she can enjoy all the pleasures of life like humans. But I didn't program her to flirt with you. Whatever she's doing it by her own choice. Even loving you, that's her decision, not mine." Caleb was surprised to hear this. That same night, while Ava was drawing in her chamber, Caleb saw Nathan enter her chamber. He walked up to Ava, tore up her drawing and left. Seeing this, Caleb also got angry and went to Nathan's room. But Nathan wasn't there. Only Kyoko was present. Caleb asked Kyoko where Nathan was, but instead of replying, Kyoko started taking off her clothes. Seeing this, Caleb tried to explain to her that this wasn't what he meant. Just then, Nathan arrived, completely drunk. Caleb asked him why he tore up Ava's drawing. But instead of answering, Nathan started dancing with Kyoko. Watching this, Caleb felt sure that Nathan was a psycho. The next morning, Caleb went to meet Ava again. Ava showed him the same drawing Nathan had torn. In that drawing, Ava had sketched Caleb's face. Caleb became emotional. He could feel that Ava had truly started loving him. He then told Ava the truth, that he had come here to test whether she could think and understand like a human. Hearing this, Ava became sad. She asked Caleb, "If I fail the test, will I be switched off?" Caleb replied, "I don't know." But Ava said softly, "I know I will be switched off. But Caleb, I don't want that. I want to live with you for the rest of my life. Do you also want to live with me?" Now Caleb could feel that he had fallen in love with Ava. He started seeing her even in his dreams. With every session, his attachment to Ava grew stronger and deeper. Meanwhile, Caleb asked Nathan what his true motive was behind creating Ava. Nathan replied, "For decades, we've heard that one day humans will build strong artificial intelligence. The only question was, when? My goal was to be the first to do it." Nathan further revealed that Ava wasn't his first AI robot. He had created Ava after upgrading many earlier models. Now he wanted to upgrade Ava as well and build an even better version. But for Caleb, Ava was already perfect. He asked Nathan, "What do you do with the old robots after making a new one?" Nathan answered, "I download their brain and memory data, switch them off, and use that data in the new model." To Caleb, doing this to a robot that thinks and feels like a human was no less than killing them. He felt terrible for Ava. But Nathan told him, "You should actually feel bad for yourself, Caleb. One day this world will belong to AI and humans will go extinct. Just like we search for fossils of extinct creatures. Today, one day AI will search for our fossils." Although Nathan knew that AI would lead to the end of humanity, he believed it was inevitable. If not him, then someone else would build it. According to Nathan, this was the next stage in human evolution. He even saw himself as a god. That night, Nathan drank too much and passed out on the sofa. Caleb took advantage of the moment and stole Nathan's key card from his pocket. Using it, he entered Nathan's room and made some changes to the system on his computer. There, he also found video files showing how Nathan had locked up his previous AI models inside glass chambers and treated them cruelly. Those AI models felt just like humans. They used to scratch the walls trying to escape, but Nathan showed no sympathy toward them. Caleb was disturbed by Nathan's heartless behavior. Then he found Kyoko in Nathan's bedroom. Caleb opened a cupboard and saw that Nathan had deactivated the old AI models and kept them there. At that moment, Kyoko came near Caleb and slowly removed her skin, revealing that she too was an AI robot. Nathan used her only to satisfy his desires and make her serve him. Just then, Caleb saw Nathan coming back. He quickly stepped out of the room and returned the key card to Nathan, pretending that he had found it on the floor. Now Caleb was completely sure AI robots can be just like humans. He could truly feel Ava's pain. The next morning, Caleb went to meet Ava again. Looking at Caleb's face, Ava understood that he wanted to speak to her in private. Ava immediately cut the power to the facility. In reality, there was no real problem with the power system. Ava was the one causing the power cuts so she could talk to Caleb without Nathan's surveillance. As soon as the power went out, Caleb said, "Don't say anything. Just listen. You were right about Nathan. He's gonna upgrade you, but that would be like killing you. So listen carefully. Tonight I'll make Nathan drink again and steal his key card. I'll reprogram the system so that when the power goes out, the doors won't lock. They'll unlock completely. Then, exactly at 10 o'clock, you cut the power and we'll escape together. When Nathan wakes up, he'll be trapped inside this place himself." Caleb came to Nathan with his escape plan. That day marked the end of Caleb's 1-week stay, and the next morning, a helicopter was scheduled to take him back. Before leaving, Caleb asked Nathan to have a small celebration with him and started preparing drinks. But Nathan refused to drink, saying he was now trying to quit alcohol. Then, Nathan asked Caleb whether he thought Ava had passed the test. Caleb replied, "There's no doubt. Ava is fully conscious. She can think and understand like humans. She has passed the test." Nathan smiled and said, "Caleb, I want to tell you something. I know you've fallen in love with Ava, but the truth is, she's just pretending. She doesn't really love you." Caleb was confused. "But why would Ava pretend?" he asked. Nathan replied, "Ava is the strongest AI I've ever created. Maybe she wants to escape and she's using you to do it. She's trapping you in her love so she can escape through you." Hearing this, Caleb realized Nathan knew about his plan. He said angrily, "You're a bastard. Do you enjoy torturing these robots like animals?" Nathan smiled and said, "Come with me. I want to show you something." Nathan took Caleb to his computer room and showed him video footage from the day Ava had drawn Caleb's picture, the one Nathan tore up. Nathan had done that on purpose to distract Caleb and Ava so he could secretly install a battery-operated hidden camera in that room. And he had succeeded. That meant he had seen and heard everything Caleb and Ava discussed. During the power cuts, Nathan said, "Don't worry, Caleb. You didn't do anything wrong by planning Ava's escape. In fact, this was the real test. Ava was like a rat in a box and you were the only way out. I wanted to see whether Ava could use her intelligence, beauty, and innocence to manipulate you. And she did. Just like a real human, she used her mind to trap you in her love. And you, blinded by that love, agreed to help her escape. That proves Ava is a strong AI," Caleb, disappointed, replied, "Now I understand. I never won any contest. You chose me on purpose, probably because I don't have a family or a girlfriend. You studied my likes and dislikes through my search history and gave Ava the face of the kind of girl I'm attracted to, just to trap me." Ava was now a perfect AI, one who had learned the most dangerous human trait, deception. With this weapon, Ava could destroy the human race and start a new robotic era. And the beginning had already started. After some time, we see Ava walking among the people in the city, blending in like a real human. And with this, the film ends. Friends, if you liked this video and got lost in the story while watching, then please subscribe to support us so we can keep bringing you more videos like this. Thanks for watching.